Ooh, okay. So the San Andreas Mercenaries update. Let's uh let's talk about this one because after day 1, things are not looking too great here. So since this is about the good, the bad, and the atrocious, let's start with the good things that they did. So the Jets got a nice nerf, so people can't get griefed constantly in public lobbies. It really does suck to see lower level players just completely get crapped on by people abusing the power of the explosive rounds from the Jets. Looks like the radius got reduced, the rate of fire got reduced, which is very nice, and with that, much harder to kill somebody that's just on the ground minding their own business. I like that. And the successor to those two, the Raiju, absolutely phenomenal plane. It's basically the Hydra 2.0. I mean, when you go from flight to VTOL mode, it's actually very controllable, and you don't just keep drifting and floating away like you would with the Hydra. Now, there are people that are complaining about the nerfs to these jets or saying that the Raiju itself is not all that powerful. Uh, I disagree with that. I'm going to say right now that the jets are much more balanced now, and if you have a hard time hitting your target now, you probably weren't that good of a pilot to begin with. Because the explosiveness of those rounds, they will still blow up any vehicle in one hit. You just can't, level an entire block or spray the entire block and hope to hit something anymore. Yes, I get that you no longer can just kill somebody that's standing on the ground. You're going to have to do a couple more strafes, but that's actually good for the game because the people complaining are the people that abused it, and they're the reason why this even had to happen in the first place. So with that said, I would put the nerfs to the Jets and the Raiju itself, I would put those things in the good column for this update. Another thing that I would put in here would actually be the upgrades to the Avenger itself. Being able to have more weapons for the pilot is actually pretty cool. The idea with the terminal to launch these story missions, good idea, but that pay was absolutely atrocious. The amount of money that you had to pay just to even do these, it does not add up with these missions. Even if you do the 6 story missions and you do the 3 contract like missions from the terminal, and even with that first time bonus, it doesn't add up to actually paying off the terminal that you bought. I actually cannot recommend any newer players buying an Avenger just to do these missions. They're better off just exploring them with some friends or other people that have this stuff unlocked because you're not going to make any money back on this. It's that bad. While I admit that using the Avenger as a team of like 3 or 4 people to do these missions actually is a lot of fun, especially if, the person that's leading actually knows how to fly and everybody is on the cannons and you guys coordinate and plan things out, the missions can actually be very, very fun. But that pay, it's the killer on this one. It really is. But who knows? Maybe the Avenger actually can do a few more things. Has anyone actually tried to see if you can transport cargo in the back of the Avenger? Like if you're doing some hangar stuff or even CEO stuff, anything that requires a vehicle, if you can just drive it into the back. Who knows if that change was made? I'm going to have to experiment with that later to see if that's a possibility. Because if you can, well, then the Avenger just got a few good points in that category. Another good addition that was added was the ability to just simply hold a button to sprint while in third person. I think that's actually really good. Another thing was actually naming your product for the Asset Lab. Sure, you don't get to create your own name, but that bonus actually is pretty nice. I mean, if you sell it in a full lobby, that's going to give you an extra like $20,000 if it's full. So that's actually pretty good too. So those are 2 more things I could guess we can add to the good column. One last good thing that I can think of right off the top of my head would actually be the hangar itself. Got significant improvements. The cool thing is you can now source cargo by talking to Rooster McCaw. Downside though, He's going to get something completely random. He will bring back 2 packages, but like I mentioned, it's going to be random, and it costs $25,000 to do. Now, me personally, I don't think that's worth the price, but if you're someone who just kind of wants the hangar to be filled up and you want to treat it like another type of passive business, that option's there too. And another nice addition for the types of players that struggle to fly or absolutely refuse to learn even how to fly in this game, you can now source cargo on land for your hangar. Thing is though, so far what I've seen, there's only 2 different missions, so if you want to just keep running the same 2 missions back and forth to source it, you can, but there are a couple aerial ones as well. There was one that I did have where Rooster got shot down, and I basically had to go to the area and find the package. Wasn't a very difficult one, but it was nice. You know, it's a new addition. The cars that have come out on day 1 and the ones that are going to be coming out, they're actually very unique looking cars, and some have some very unique features too, which I think some people are probably going to really like going forward. And this is probably all there is when it comes to what's good from this update, because the bad list is a little longer. So first up on the bad list, the pay from these missions from the Avenger. It's just not nearly enough. Those need to be bumped up significantly to make this a bit more enjoyable. And to go along with that, I would have to say it would be the cost of everything. Like, I know over the years, the cost of everything new that comes out, it gets higher and higher and higher. This is looking Arena War level bad in terms of how much it costs to participate in the new stuff and how much you make for doing it. That's how bad this is looking right now. Another thing that Rockstar did that they really should not have is not add any extra hangar space, because you have to get rid of some planes if you want some of the newer aircraft that came out with this update. And speaking of things that have to be done in the hangar, I did find it really stupid that you have to take your Avenger into the hangar from your facility just to put some of the extra customization options on it, and then you have to send it back to your facility. Like, I do not see why these upgrades couldn't just be added at the facility itself. But whatever, as we've learned over the years, if it makes sense, Rockstar's probably not going to do it. And here we're going to get to what is atrocious in this update, and I'm not even sure where to start. I mean, I could start with the fact that they removed about 188 vehicles, and the only way to get said vehicles is if you are a GTA Plus subscriber, or if you have some friends that own those cars and you're on a next-gen console and you can buy them from each other at the car meet. Now, the car meet thing, okay, like I can see some silver lining in that, but they really should not have taken all those vehicles away and try to do what they can to force people to get GTA Plus. I mean, the writing's on the wall here. We can see this is exactly what they want to do going into GTA 6 when that comes out in, what have you, end of 2024, sometime 2025, whatever. This, to me, looks like this is the future of what they are going to be going for, and the players, we kind of only have ourselves to blame because so many people kept buying GTA Plus, so many people kept buying into the FOMO, and so they're going to keep playing it up. They're going to limit things. They're going to make you log on when they want you to log on and get things only at certain times. And with that, I honestly thought they would have somewhat learned their lesson from Arena War of having things overly priced. But here they are again doing this. They're trying to get you to get GTA Plus and shark cards just from looking at the cost of everything that came out in this update and with what you're making in return. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, that's okay that things are overly expensive, I can always just run some Cayo Perico. Well, guess what? They broke that a little more too. So now in Cayo Perico, if you fail or die or something, when you spawn in again, like with the quick restart, you're not going to have any weapons. And also, sometimes the game will give you different weapons than the ones that you actually sourced for. So have fun with that one. That's not the only bug that's been brought to my attention. At the time of this recording, there seems to be a bug that has to do with the MOC and the bunker. So it seems like if you drive one of your cars into the bunker, it can get deleted permanently. Like, it's just going to be gone. It's going to vaporize. The MLCs themselves may have their mods reset, so it could lose like its cannons and what have you, and no matter how many times you drive it out or try to save it or whatever, it's just going to keep resetting. It seems like this is a pretty bad bug. So it is highly recommended that if you are going into your bunker, always remember to put all of your vehicles away. Like, return your car, return your jet, or hell, even just blow it up, because I'm pretty sure nobody wants to lose that stuff that they worked hard for. And speaking of hard work, the Franklin payphone missions now have a 48-minute cooldown instead of a 20-minute cooldown. So there's that. That's atrocious. That's awful as well. And the most atrocious thing for me personally is something I'm going to have to cover in another video because it's that bad. I have such a rant about it. It's totally inexcusable on Rockstar's part. But hey, that's it for this video. If you could you please like and subscribe to this channel for more videos coming up in the future? This is gtavfather signing off.